Hey, what's up, guys? Check, check. Happy Wednesday. It is right at 10 o'clock, and I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care, and I'm just going to let everybody jump in, and we will get started. But thank you guys for joining tonight. And tonight I got a little variety. And so tonight, guys, we'll do some vintage Pokemon. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. This is a card that I found online, and I just love, because it's Barry Sanders. And I just couldn't find a lot of them. Top's fire, but it's just kind of cloudy and a little bit dirty, so I figured we could clean it up. What's going on, you guys? Welcome, man. Good to see everybody's names on the screen. You know, the only thing that would be better is if could have you guys here personally, man. But good to see everybody. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and thanks, guys, for tuning in tonight. And then check this one out, you guys. I've been my buddies that own the local card shop. As you can imagine, they get a fair share of trade-ins and drop-offs and stuff like that, and they'll always save like the dirty, beat-up ones for me. So that's what I got here, but I think it's a fun one. I think it would be a good one to do a demonstration on, because I feel like it's pretty bad, right? But it's also got like some. I feel like the stupid Instagram makes my. Sometimes doesn't show up well. All right, so you see it? We got some stuff on it. It's just really beat up, so I thought this would be a fun one. I always like doing one with you guys. It's like kind of like lost cause. So there's a good. Oh, look at. It's a good one. It's got stains on the back and hairs in the stain. That's yummy. So that'll be fun. We'll do that one. And then I'll show you guys this too. Topps Mario Lemieux rookie card. And are you guys familiar, if you guys like to grade cards, and I know a lot of you do, you ever get the send in a card that you had since the 80s, and it gets you can get a card, if you send it to PSA at least, it can be considered N5 for being in a screw down case too long. So you'll see, guys, sometimes, like, you see this texture on this card has a bumpy texture. But then if I can get it right, it's hard to see in the light, but you get to these corners and they are flat smooth. So somebody a while back cranked this bad boy down into a screw case. I don't know if I can show you guys real well from this angle, but like when you got your own, look at them from the angle or from the width of them. It's kind of hard to show, guys, but like if you can see, like at least by my thumb, you got like a thick card, and then when it comes down to these corners, they are just like pinched. So I'm irritated with my camera. All right, there we go. And it's got like a little edge problem and stuff like that. So we'll just mess around. All right. So that's what we're talking about here. All right. So let me take a look here. And Dave, that the green hoodie that you guys will probably wear in a lot of my videos because I wear the same clothes every day. Now I just had that one personally made, but you know what? I would put some up on there. Like, I'll tell you guys something. Hey guys, what's going on? Happy holidays, happy post Thanksgiving, and thank you guys for joining the live. So we'll get into these cards here in a second, but thanks for asking about the hoodie, guys. I'll put some more. I'll put like a hoodie up or something like that for seasonal stuff. Right now, on my website, if you guys ever wanted a logo shirt, I got the that logo, my Card Care logo shirt. Every bit of money from those shirts I donate to Celebrate Recovery. So if any clothes I have up on my site, we don't make any money off of them. We just donate the money. Celebrate Recovery is like, it's a faith-based program for like, it's like kind of like AA, but it's like for hurts, habits, and hangups. And I quit drinking almost 6 years ago, and so that's what I support with all those clothes sales. So, but thank you guys for asking that. But what we'll do first, you guys, is I want to jump on. See, there's a couple things because I want to soak the Michael Jordan card tonight, and I'm just even though I've been thinking about this all day, I'm still like, what the heck should we start with? I want to start with the Barry Sanders card because I went around the corners and edges, and it doesn't look beat up. It was just an internet buy. It was just a cheap card, but I like it a lot. And but I want to clean that one up, and then we'll get into the Michael Jordan, all right? And if you guys, anytime you have questions, throw them up there for me. I promise I'll do my best to last, or my best to answer. But I will do that for you. Dude, yeah, thanks. You're choosing the card show over Weird Al on Fallon right now? All right, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll take that. But, yeah, let me show you guys some other stuff that I've been working on. We'll get busy on these, all right? So let me flip this around. And I'll show you guys something. Remember this one from last week? Remember when we got the Trevor Lawrence? The question that I got asked was, can you soak a patch card? And I tried it. So there it is. The answer is no. So that would be a really good test that shows you do not soak patch cards. The main reason was I had dents on the back. Soaking the patch card did not help the dents, and it made the texture look terrible. So don't do it. Sometimes you just got to deal with the beat-up patch cards, I guess. What you can do with the patch card is all the surfaces are cleanable. So, like, you can clean these cards. You can work on edges and corners. But if you have, like, some severe denting in them, don't give it a dunk. It doesn't come back to life real well. So, but I appreciate you guys asking me that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm glad we could do it. So let's do I want to work on the Barry Sanders first just to clean it up. It's hard to, it probably looks nice from your perspective, guys, because it's like there's not any, it doesn't look bad from my perspective. It's just one of those cards that looks cloudy to me. So actually, this is a good one to do because I had a lot of new customers lately, and I thank you guys for the continued support, new and old. But if you're new, you might be like, hey, I just want to like work on cleaning up the surfaces of cards. What the heck do I do first? If that's the case, let's just keep it simple. We'll do that first, all right? So like, we'll just use card polish on this, you guys, because the card doesn't look, I use card spray when I can see that there's dirt stuck on stuff. We'll use it tonight for sure, but this just kind of looks cloudy. And I looked at the back of it, and it was, oh yeah, see, we got like little splotches of stuff. There's like little stuff stuck on it. Doesn't look too bad. But it's 2015, so it's kind of new. So I don't think it's really dirty, but I'm just going to clean it up. Hey, Denver, another Lions fan and a Barry Sanders fan. Isn't this one nice? I mean, I like expensive cards too, but I got this for $10, and I'm like, that's probably the coolest Barry Sanders card I've ever seen. Like, seriously, I like all this expensive stuff. I like patches and autographs and all that, but this is dope. This is really good, all right? So let's, let me just clean this one up, you guys. We'll keep it simple. I'm just going to use card polish. And hey, if you guys, so when it comes to, if you're brand new and you're just getting this in the mail, and then you're like, what do I do with this? Like, just use your applicator. And when you get it, you guys, it will probably be, yours will be full. And it might even have a couple cracks in it. It might even have some dry spots on it because it just gets drier on the top and after I make it. So, but all you got to do is this. All right, just wake it up and it'll look good. All right. Yeah, for sure. When us growing up watching Barry and Emmett, looking back, Emmitt Smith was obviously fan-freaking-tastic. And I know he had a great line and a great team and all that stuff. But he was great. Emmett was great. But man, Barry was just different. It was, and that's coming from a Detroiter that like we never had championships. Hopefully this year. He was just the greatest, and I'm not trying to be Detroit biased. He was more fun to watch than Emmitt Smith. Now, Emmitt Smith, if you're a Dallas fan, it was probably pretty damn fun to watch the Cowboys win a bunch of Super Bowls. But just if you're the captain and you get to pick the running back, I think most people would pick Barry. That's what I'm trying to say. So I just turned that light off, you guys, so you can see what I'm doing. And I want to tell you something. I'm not using any sort of pressure or force. I don't get the question a lot. But sometimes I'll have guys reach out to me and say, hey, I'm practicing on my base cards and I'm creating some scratches. And I say, well, what the heck? What are you doing? And turns out a lot of times they'll say, oh, you know what, Kurt, I was pressing super hard. And I'm like, no, don't. Just clean them lightly. You don't have to really do anything muscle involved here. I know. But yeah, it's... Oh, I had somebody ask a question that said, can I get my cards, if I want to get my cards graded, can I clean them and get them graded? Yeah, sure, you can do that. Just, if you've never got cards graded before, it's pretty easy. Or if you have, but you just want to know if you can clean them, yes, you can do this. This is no problem. check this out, you guys. Like, look at this is what I'm trying to say. I want to see if I can show you guys. It's not as remarkable for the camera. Okay, here's what I'm trying to show you. This is how the card came to me. Can you see I want you guys to pay attention to this. There's a line right here going through the lion. That's not the background. That's the actual fogginess of this. So look how nice it is on the top. See this at the bottom? That's how nice this looks. I can't wait to show this to you guys. One sec. Let's just do this real quick. And I went around the edges and corners of this card, and it's not chipped up. It's not beat up. This card's in fantastic shape. It's just that sometimes, even as quick as 8 years later, these surfaces can get very cloudy, depending on just the surface or the material I'm sure they used, or just the environment you live in. All right, this is good. 1 second. I promise I'll read the questions. You guys, if anybody's asking me stuff, I just see it's kind of moving, but I'm like looking down. I'll be up in a second. I don't know if you guys can see the difference at home. I know it's like always been shiny, but it's like a remarkable, if you guys have any of these at home, just use some card polish on it. Looks like a totally different card. That's awesome. I want to get this card graded. I looked it up on eBay today, and there's only like 2 of them for sale. So I don't know. Maybe you guys, I don't know. I don't really remember buying too many football cards in 2015 tops. I just don't remember. But hold on, we're not done yet. The back's a little bit dirty. Look up by the lion. There's just kind of like some crap up by the lion. And then I thought I saw a circle. Yeah, that. Well, hang out. We'll see what we can do. And I don't even care if I can, whatever. I like the card the most. The fun thing about card care a lot of times is I'll buy stuff that I like no matter what. But I always like to buy stuff with a couple little things like that I notice on it. So just gives me a project. But the thing is, I get asked, one of the questions I'll get asked is, hey, I'm nervous to get started. I'm sure you mess stuff up all the time. And honestly, guys, you kind of develop a touch for what works and what doesn't work. And then you kind of just repeat it. So I don't expect anybody, I don't expect you guys to really ever cause any mega problems or hurt your cards if you just follow my teachings here. But, there'll just be some stuff you can't fix. And I'm going to explain that here better when we get to the Mario Lemieux card. I bought it hoping that I could make an improvement on it. And I found out the thing that I noticed on the picture, I couldn't improve at all. But we'll still use it for a demonstration tonight. And it's still a Mario Lemieux rookie, so I like it no matter what. But I'll explain further. Now there's something I see on this that I'll bring it to your attention, you guys. I see a black speck up in this card, so I might have to go in a little bit more, but 1 sec. Let's just take a look. I got it. So I did use a tiny bit of pressure on there. And David, I just saw your message. Take a look at that, because it doesn't say. David said that there's numbered versions of these. I think, Dave, is it a giant card though? I don't remember there being normal sized cards of this that were numbered. Because I remember seeing the big ones, but I'd never seen a small print run of the berry. So I think this is just a pretty short print. Hell yeah, look at that. I got that thing stuck off the back. Not bad for $10, huh, guys? Yeah, see, David, I remember the oversized ones, and I remember seeing posters of them, but I never seen the card until I got this one. This one's awesome. And it's I don't care where you're watching from. Everybody loves Barry Sanders, so go Barry. That's dope, isn't it? I think the only thing that I saw on this one, you guys, that I can't fix or do much with is, I got a little bit of chips. Baby little chips on these corners, but so what, maybe get a 8 or something on the card, possibly. I don't really see too much wrong with it. But whatever the grade is, as long as it's a fair grade, I'm fine with it. It's not a 10. I don't think it's a 10 card by because of the little chips on the corners. But that's the only thing I can see wrong with it. But really, this is a card that's just going to go up on my wall because it looks cool. You know what I mean? So that one's a good one, you guys. I'm happy to show that one. Sometimes, just a quick card polish is sweet. I love that. All right, cool. So if you guys see any of these ones out there, pick one up. Because if they all get cloudy like that, they might be all on discount. And then you just clean them up and they look great. Sweet. All right, Barry Sanders, my favorite Detroit Lion ever. And, all right, I think we got to get started, you guys, on this. I think we got to get started on the Jordan because I think it might take a little time. And let me show you what to do, or let me show you what I'm seeing. So this was at the bottom of a box of free cards. And I figured, why not make a demonstration? So let's analyze it together. This is not a bend or anything in the paint or in the card. It's a substance. I can feel it. All right, so there's that. It's bent. It's stained. It's growing hair. Okay. Then, oh yeah, he's my favorite running back ever, for sure. But the thing is, I was almost going to say favorite football player ever, but I can't because like Tom Brady's my favorite football player ever. But Barry is right up there. That's a good one, isn't it? Take a before picture of that. Cards. There could be a card show going on right now where it's a bunch of guys admiring all their like perfect 10 cards. And they're all like, I've had this one for a long time. Oh, this one took me a long time. This one's a population of one. But you guys are here looking at watching this show. Oh boy, we're a special group, aren't we? Yeah. Oh, dude, I like Dion too. Dion's the man. So I just want to see if I can wipe this crap off. Here's something that I can teach you. All right. Yeah, Denver DNA for sure. This was my favorite card out of the whole box. Here's the thing that we can do. Let's try to, there are cool cards that are, believe it or not, valuable from 90. Like if this was a PSA 10, somebody tell me, what's a 10 go for in this card? More than $100, I'm sure. So just think about it. If you come into a lot of these and they're awesome, man, and they have stuff on them, or you ever need to get a little dent out, let's figure out how to do that, because not everything has to be super expensive, but this one's a good one. So let's see what we can do here. All right. So so what I was trying to say is, before you ever soak a card or get a card wet or anything like that, try to get whatever is on the surface off. Give yourself a head start. Don't put it this stuff looks like Coca-Cola or something to me. So the thing is, if I put it in card spray and I start getting my card spray dirty right away with this crap, it's just kind of all over the card. So I just want to try to get the card as clean as possible before we got to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, this card was definitely a victim of the Jordan rules. Touche. It was definitely from a Detroit collection, that's for sure. So so this is where you guys, so again, I know I got all my homies on here and I appreciate you guys, but for the new people on here, hey, Kyle, what's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. So for the new people on here, you guys, whenever you have something stuck on your card and you're like, what do I do with that? Use a little bit of card spray. That will usually be the easiest. So just put it right there. And then I just use a little bit of cotton. So I'll get the cotton on there. And a lot of this stuff, surface stuff, you guys, is usually pretty good to get off of the front of cards, so we'll just give it a shot, and then we will soak this card, and I'll have to follow up with you guys tomorrow because we'll probably take a little bit to dry it. Hey, Big City Collectibles, what's going on? Hey, Jake, what's up, man? Hey, guys, thanks so much for being here. If you guys are just jumping in, welcome to Wednesday Night Live. My name's Kurt. I love cards and ones that are a little bit beat up or a little dirty, so I can just have a little projects to do. I'm a busybody, and I like having little projects, and I like seeing results. And I put all that stuff together a long time ago, and now we got this great community of people that love to work on their cards together. So If you're new, welcome. You're at the right place, all right? And like, no questions are bad questions. You guys can hit me up anytime if you ever need support or have anything, you know what I mean? So, Mike, you got a good question. I see a good question by Mike Dupler. So, Mike, hold on to that. I'm going to answer that 1 second. Pretty good. We got a long ways to go, but I got most of the boogers and crap off the front. Whatever that thing's is on there still, so we'll leave that. We'll try to get that out in the spray. But look at his arm. All right. Got a long ways to go, my friends, but we got the grody stuff off the front. Here, let's do that again. A lot of times, you guys, if you're 90s lovers, you're going to find Coca-Cola and stuff like that on cards. So use card spray. Just don't, no friction, light. Just wipe over it lightly, okay? So Mike asked a question. Mike's question is, how long do your cards take to fully dry with the chamois? Now, so for example, tonight, we're going to soak this card here in a minute. And then tonight, I'm going to keep it between the pads because I want to keep the surface flat and smooth, okay? Then tomorrow morning, it's going to be more dry, right? Because it's the pads are going to soak moisture into it. Then I'll put the chamois on this tomorrow when it's still wet, but it's more firm, so I don't leave impressions in the card. Do you follow me? Did I explain that okay? So, and then when tomorrow morning, it will be damp. I'll put it between the chamois and we'll hold it. And then I bet you by tomorrow dinner time, even maybe late afternoon, this card will be totally dry because the chamois do such a good job. I'll even show you guys tonight. We'll see how it goes. I might be able to get it dry pretty quick and we'll just try it with the chamois, but good question. So, and if you're like, what the heck are you talking about, dude? Hang tight. I'm going to show you. That kind of came off, but it's still kind of on there. Let me keep trying. Ideally, I would like to get all that crap off. That would be my hope. And I also want my hope to be like when you guys see a card like this and you're like, man, that thing is like screwed, man. I'd like you to hopefully be able to show you like, all right, there's a few things I see that are promising. Like, okay, cool. See that dirty stuff? It's still kind of stainy. It's still I got the gunk off, but there's still kind of like a brown mark. So that's why a card soak is probably going to be good because I still got a stain. All right. So now there is nothing I'm going to be able to do with this card like with my hands. It's like my trusty card tool. Sure, we could go do all the edges and corners, no problem. But like this stuff's just too severe. It's never going to happen. You know what I mean? Dude, Jake, I'm glad that you wrote that. Thank you, Jake. How you guys, if any of, I bet you a lot of guys, I feel that a lot of, I have customers and collector friends from teenagers to people in their 70s and 80s, but I'd say a lot of us are kind of in the middle. And, these cards don't get a ton of attention, but they are starting to get older and older as we get older and older, and they're cool, So, like, here's what we're going to work on tonight, man. We got a pretty heavy crease. Dents, more dents. And, it's messy. So let's do this. We're going to do a card soak. And for that, we're going to use card spray. And what I'm going to try to do, you guys, is we'll do, let's see, it's 10:23. But let's watch this together. This is important because you guys are probably, if you've seen my show before, it's vintage baseball cards, or even cards from the, this era with like the raw paper back. They're easy to soak because that's the easiest way to take care of them there when it comes to being dented like this. But then when you start to kind of get into these more premium finishes of the 90s, you're kind of like, well, what do I do with these things, And I find that you can soak these too. But like I've only done a handful because I haven't really been like super active with these, but I've done them behind the scenes just testing stuff and it's worked pretty darn good. So let's try another one together. All right. So we'll just put the MJ in the card spray and you're going to see this. This is going to trip you guys out. Watch this. Watch all this weird. It's going to look horrible before it looks good. I'm going to tell you that. Okay. So I did this with the Mark Jackson. You guys know the Menendez brothers one, where the Menendez brothers are there. I did this, and I didn't even film it because it looked so horrible. But then I dried it, and it looks fantastic. So I'm like, all right, I got to show the crew this one. All right, so it's gonna take a minute to creep in. Okay, so we're gonna let that creep in, and you're gonna see it all. We'll keep it in frame here, all right? But if this is all stuff that you've ever wondered, like, hey, what happens if I do this, or is this possible? Can we do this? You're at the right place, man. I've always been interested in experiments, and it's always been around collectibles. It's just kind of always been my thing. So what I want to do, you guys, is while we're waiting for MJ to get totally wet, I'm just going to put a little cover on it. So hang tight, MJ. This was something, you guys, I didn't even plan on doing tonight, but we're doing it. So here's what I was digging through: a box of old stuff, and I found this, and I think I remember getting this card years back, and I remember specifically getting this card because of this Dent, and I wanted to see if I could get Dents like this to go away from Pokemon or TCG. And I got this years back, and I remember I couldn't do it. I tried holding this card. I tried doing like a million passes with like the card tool, like doing stuff like this, and I'll show you. And I'm doing stuff like that, and I couldn't do anything with it. And I remember this exact card. I remember saying to myself, well, you know what? My card polish is awesome at cleaning them. My card spray is nice at making them look clean. I guess, at least I have an option for Pokemon collectors to clean them. But you know what? When it comes to dents and stuff like that, I guess it is what it is. But since then, right, we've come a long, long way with showing other collectors of how to like get stuff like that to go away. So when I found this today, I was pumped up because I was like, you know what? That was a card that I worked on years ago that I didn't get anywhere with, and I'm bringing this damn thing out tonight, and we're going to fix this thing up, all right? So that's my story, all right? And you guys can see it's not a beauty by any means. It's all beat up. It's a card that was used in probably a lot of tournaments or a lot of games. It's been used. But like, look at the back. So here's what we're going to try to do. You see that? So we got those like fingernail marks up at the top. And you know what? I'm going to hold this for a second so I can screenshot this later. I don't even think I took a picture of the back, stupid me. But you guys will see. I'll show you an after picture. But I did take a picture of the front. I know that. So here's what I want to do. If you guys can see, the holographic area is dirty. So why we got the card polish out? Let's just make it pretty. Let's clean it up. And like I said before, there's like those, I think most TCG guys or Pokemon guys call it what, Pokemon mold, these little black dots that seem to pop up on these cards. We'll see if we can get those off too. So like, good question. I think, so Jake, now we're going to make a little thing called a card sandwich. And it's just with see how much we're using a whole bunch of card spray on the Michael Jordan. If you do that to a Pokemon card, you ruin them. They can't handle that type of moisture. But the good news is they can handle a light amount, and that light amount usually gets these things in great shape and moves them around. So I'm going to try to get that edge to go nice and flat. Now it's going to take me a day or 2 or 3 or whatever, but I think we can do it. So let me get get the stuff out of the way here. Sorry. But I noticed that the holographic on this was, I didn't even use it for a demo because I couldn't even get that thing to lay down. So like back in the day, and still to this day, you guys, if you got a little dent or a little like flare, card tool, easy. It's easy. You can just go around and just go do that. But when it's heavy in there like that, it just ain't gonna do it. So let me, I I just like cleaning up the holographic part because it's always shiny and pretty after that. So let's work on this because that's what I want to do. And if you guys don't mind, let me just look at the monitor for a second. I just want to catch up if there's anything I missed. Yeah, you guys, for drying cards and for even like the custom, my buddy Robert, Cardsmith34, follow Robert. And hey, Robert, last week, remember this card you guys we did last week? And dried it. Like I said, my biggest concern about one of these cards was it dry like all wonky and weird. Even though that this material can't take much moisture, Robert's device for drying cards made this thing flat and straight as an arrow. So Robert's device worked. And so follow Rob. He's got awesome stuff to show you. Okay, so let me get all my tools here together. Yeah, I think somebody was asking a question, was like, can we watch more demonstrations? You guys go to, if you're brand new, and if you can hear me, I'm standing up, I'm on the other side of the room here, I'm getting materials. I think if you guys go to my YouTube page and stuff like that, or my Instagram, you're going to see a ton of stuff. And that's cool, but you might be like, oh, this is so much, where the hell do I start? This is so advanced, I'm never going to learn how to do this. So don't say that to yourself. Here's what you do. Go to kurtzcardcare.com. That's too small. Go to kurtzcardcare.com. And then on the top of my page, if this looks like something you collect, on the top of the page, you click on the TCG button and it will show you, watch these 3 videos first. If you collect paper cards or vintage cards, you click on the vintage card tab on the top and it'll tell you what to do, what not to do. So there's a lot of support there for you guys, okay? Because when I was new, I was always interested in card care, but I didn't have any mentors or like anybody teach me how to do it. So I had to like figure it all out. And every single time I figured something out, I'd like write it down or make a note or whatever. Because I'm like, I know I'm not the only dude that wants to like work on their collection. There's just got to be a formula and a recipe. So I document everything, you guys, but there is a starting point. Okay. So go to my website, click on the tab of cards you like to collect, start there, and then you can take the blue pill and go all the way down the wormhole, you know? So, okay, let me show you something. Michael Jordan, chilling. Remember how weird and wonky it looked for a second? Remember all of it was boiling up? It's still got a heavy amount of texture in there, but look at it. It's fine. We're cool. Let's let it sit. It's got those big wrinkles in it, and we got other stuff going on. Yeah, Robert said I should get a custom slab for some of these cards I work on and offer them out. Sure, I got enough base cards here that I've cleaned up, man, that if anybody ever loved one, you can reach out to me. All right, so where are we at now? I have somebody that said, "Are you Kurt?" Yes, if you are on Kurt's Card Care channel asking me, yes, that is me, and it is nice to meet you. So Amphibian888, welcome. If you're looking for somebody else, you're at the wrong place. But if you're looking for me, you're here. So thank you for being here. Okay, so let's see what we can do. One more thing, you guys. I don't want to get too stuck on this, but those weird little those black dots that we were trying to get off, the little moldy spots. Now, I know we're going to get this. I want to see if we can get some of those moldy spots off. Sometimes, you guys, I'll just get an email or a message from, sorry, I'm not by the microphone. I'm getting into my locker real quick. I got to get a Q-tip. All right, sorry. I had to get these things. Sometimes I'll just get emails from collectors saying, "Hey, Kurt, I can't, I got this, I got these little moldy spots. How do you get rid of them?" So through my experience, I haven't had really too many of them that stuck on. I think you can usually get them off. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use a little bit of card spray. This is a detail Q-tip, you guys. So these are just my little Q-tips that I'll use and you'll notice that they have a small point on them. It's just good for getting into those little hard to reach spots, like those little moldy spots or whatever they are. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Doug asked, is it okay if you, card polish some cards and do the spray method, yeah, you can go back and forth, man. All good. No big deal. Yep, all good. And I don't want to, if you guys are going to work on any of these little moldy spots on these blue edges or yellow edges or blue edges on the front or back, just go slow, go light. That's the easiest place on a TCG card to remove any of the paint. Even though they're strong little cards, it's doable. And what I mean is doable is it's easy to remove the paint. All right, I got one of the spots off. And again, I'm not using pressure. I'm just going quick, back and forth, real light. Because I don't want to pick any of the paint off. Hang out for me, guys. Sometimes it goes quick, sometimes it takes a while. But now I'm like... So remember, we had a... Oh, there's an... I keep looking. I'm going to keep finding them. There's another one. We had one right there. We had one right there. We got still one right there. Let's try to get that little one off. But if you guys run into these, this is the method. Get this a little bit wet with card spray and just kind of go up and down over these things and they will go away. So look at those Pokemon mold spots. That's how you get rid of them. It's a little thing. I know it's not a huge thing, but you know what? I know no matter what you collect, it's awesome to have them. And like nobody wants to have a little mold spot on your card. I just want to get this final one off and then we'll try to get this edge flat. Well, it's being stubborn, but you guys get the point. You know, it might come off in our next step. So we had like 4 or 5 of them. I still got that one. So that one's being tough. But the next step that we're going to do probably is going to remove it. You guys, we're going to get this thing off one way or the other, all right? Dude, Scuba Flex, I love your comment. Facebook Marketplace is a great place to buy cards to practice on. I would say that like a huge chunk of the stuff that you guys that I buy and love to work on is all local stuff too. Yep, you know, definitely true. Yeah, David, absolutely, man. Thanks for the testimonial. Dave said, super careful on the back of Flawless. Yep. Soon as you guys the thing is, you don't want to create friction. You know, you don't want to have friction. You just want to have just little bit. You know what I mean? And Doug, the polish might break some of this stuff down too. You know, like anytime that you got like molds or little sticky stuff, spray or polish or one or the other, we'll get them out of there. But what I want to move on to next, you guys, because I appreciate everybody's attention so much, is I want to get the Mew here in position to get this wrinkle out. So here's what I've learned since I've got this card, that, you know, I can't just clip these down and hold them flat and it magically goes away. We got to use some card spray, and it will help on the back too. So here's the key, you guys. If you've never if you've never used this method, keep it light. Just keep it light, okay? And so let me show you guys. Let's see here. You're all here. I got to show you the right way, you know what I mean? So hold on. I have a desk that raises and lowers, so I'm flipping it around. Yo, guys, what's going on? Thank you for being here, all right? So here's what we're going to do. I need to get that wrinkle out of the top of this edge, but I also want to put card spray on this mat. So here's what I'm going to do, all right? So I'm just going to give it, when I say a light mist, I know that can be like, you know, you could be like, well, what the heck's a light mist? So I'm just going to go like this. just a little light mist, barely anything on there, but it's enough, because the only way that I could ever, the only time that I messed up Pokemon stuff is by using too much card spray. So just do this. Just light. Very, very, see how it's like not runny on there at all, just a little light mist? Somebody wrote, I got the same shirt, good old Ron Johns, man. Cocoa Beach is a place where I had a lot of fun family memories. It's where I learned how to longboard surf, so Ron Johns always holds a special place in my heart, that's for sure. Okay, so now that we got a little mist on here, you don't need to be in a rush or anything like that. You just got to go like this. We're going to do that. We're going to put the other mist pad on top. And I'm just going to hold this one. Now, Pokemon, you don't have to get them super wet or anything like that, but they do need, you got to have patience with them, because they do take a while sometimes. Sometimes you can make a lot of movement, like in the first 24 hours. And then you'll have like this little naggy remaining little indent. Keep going. Keep going. Like sometimes you guys, this stuff will take me 5, 6, 7 days to get the final little indents out. But like, I'm just mental, so I can't stop. I'll just keep on going at it. You know what I mean? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to hold it like this. And we're going to check on it tomorrow. That's all we're doing tonight. I'm confident that we can get that thing to lay flat and at least get that dent out of there pretty well. So if you didn't hear my whole story on this one, I won't repeat the whole thing. But this was an old card I had that I bought to try to, when I first started trying to remove dents from Pokemon. And I was telling myself, someday I'll figure this out. Someday I'll figure this out. And, I've come a long way with that. But I'm looking forward to showing this one to you guys. All right, so pardon me. I'm going to go put this, we got the other area over here. All right, so I'm going to put that over here. 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. That's it. Now we got to have a sip of coffee. And this sip of coffee goes out to my friends in Missouri. My sister-in-law was just in Missouri, and she went to this gas station called Buc-ee's. And she said that she absolutely loved this gas station so much that she had to get me a mug from there. So cheers to my sister, Hope. Love you, Hope. All right, so there's that. So now, you guys, let's check out the Michael Jordan, if that's cool with you. All right, lowering the desk. Here we go, all right? Let's turn this thing around here. So, you guys, you won't hurt the thing is, I say you won't hurt. I haven't soaked too many 90 Hoops cards, but I don't have anything in my mind that makes me worried about it or anything like that. They're pretty thick card, pretty thick stock. But let's check it out. So, what I gotta do? I gotta show you guys something. It already looks cool as hell. All right, so let's get it out of here. Let's use a little. Okay. How long do we have it in there, you guys? What was that, 20 minutes? So you're going to get one card mat up here just to be kind of like your table here after you take it out. Yeah, you guys, this one that I was just using is a soap dish. The one that, if you guys want a real nice drying or a soaking rack too, I don't know if Robert's still on here. These were the ones that Robert made. So these are really nice too. And these are awesome, especially if you have a card that curls. The ones that Robert makes will hold it down, so there's a couple good soaking dish options out there. And so far, let's take a look at this Jordan. So as soon as I take a card out of being totally wet like that, I just use my microfiber. And I know that there's a long ways to go, you guys, to dry this card, but I can still see the dent and the crease. And I know it's like all textury and stuff like that. That's all going to be fine and dandy, but I want to take a few seconds here to work on these, okay? So this is a key time to work on your card after a soak, is while it's real soft like this. So check this out. Okay, so see now that's gone. So isn't that awesome? So you can still see it in there just a tiny, tiny bit, right? That will go away. We'll get that out of there. Okay, so now let's do it one more time over here. So the card is wet. It's a really key time to work on these little wrinkles. Okay. Great question, Mark. Not much pressure, guys. Not much pressure at all, okay? So watch this, fellas. See, and ladies. I know I see girls on here. I'm sorry. I always call everybody guys. And I always call, like, Michelle's like my homie. I always call her dude. So all my girlfriends on here, too, you know that I just call everybody dude, right? so watch. That's the part. Then we're going to put that right on there. Let's kill that light. And then we're not using pressure here, guys, because if I use pressure, we're going to make it look terrible. It's going to create a big bowl. You know what I mean? We're just using a little bit of good old-fashioned handiwork here. Light hand, real light hand. Now watch, ready? All right. Cool as hell, right? So you guys, you're looking at this Jordan. I want to show you something. Mark, I always do use a sleeve on top for when the card is wet, because if I just went on here like this, I'm gonna tear it. I'm gonna tear it. Okay. So that's why we got to use this nice go-between, because I don't want any friction on there. Great question, Mark. That's exactly what I want you to ask. So friends, if you're just joining, this is where we're at right now. Okay. That's where we started. Right? So that's where we started. And then this is where we're at. So this is going to come out. This is going to be really good. So you guys just got to hang. And then look, we had stuff like this on it. And if you guys are just jumping in going, I want to watch all this. It's all, we recorded all of it, okay? So you guys can jump in and watch it anytime. So that's where we started. And that's where we're at. With a 90 Jordan. Isn't that cool as hell? And if you guys are haven't ever watched anything like this before, or haven't done anything like that, I'll tell you this, it never gets old. It never gets old. It's always fun to be able to work on something that you've always liked and make them, so much nicer. So now, did I tell you guys, I'm going over my mental checklist. All right, so I told you guys how I do the creases. We're good there. So now we're gonna get the front mat in place, okay? So we're gonna get the front mat ready. And you might be thinking, well, you didn't wipe off the back. You're right. So we're going to take this out of here. That's too wet. We don't need to hold a card with that much moisture in there. It's like, it doesn't need to be wet anymore. We need to start the drying process. So we're going to do the same deal. And this is also, my friends, a very, very superb time to work on edges and corners. This back corner was a little weird. It was bent. Okay, Mark. What? Say that loud again. Mark said $275 for a PSA 10 in this. It's like, and especially guys, if you like to use you like to work on cards and get them graded, and do stuff like that. Like, these are rather inexpensive, but you turn them into something great. Like, this card is going to look really good when we're done with this. Like, let's look at the back. It's like remarkable, isn't it? Like, I love that. And so now I just want to make sure, before we start holding it, I just want to make sure there's nothing on the surface. Okay. So one more thing real quick, you guys. I just want to do this spot real quick. I was just looking down and I could still see a little bit of a crease in there more than I want. Yeah, you're right. Last message on there, a lot of these are off center. You're right. Yeah, they didn't really put a lot of effort into baseball or basketball cards in 1990. That's the truth. Okay, it looks good. So here's what we're going to do, okay? So now, anything that's still like hanging out in here, I still got a little dent. This card is going to still do a lot. There's a lot of magic is going to happen between now and dry. And the first part is we're going to hold this flat. Now, we're not going to use the chamois yet, you guys, but I want to explain them to you. So since this card was totally wet, and you guys see these chamois that I have over here, let me tell you what I'm going to do. If you don't mind, I'll turn around and tell you what I'm going to do. So, I want to hold the Michael Jordan card overnight. I want it to stay between the pads. Hold on. For example, I want it to stay, we're going to lock it up like this overnight. In the morning, all I'm going to do is take off these pads because they're going to be wet, and I'm going to put a chamois on the front and the back of the Michael, and we're going to put the black pads over it, okay? You know what? I'll even show you guys, because like, what the heck is the point of explaining it all? But I'm going to show you. But the thing is, I would like to leave it flat overnight with the black pads, just so it has that nice retention on it, and it will dry the card to a degree overnight. And then in the morning, like I said, we're going to add that to it and put the black mat still on the outside of it. So picture this, the card's in the middle, black mat, black mat. Since my dad jokes are, I call this a card sandwich with cheese. We're making a card sandwich with cheese, and you'll hold it, and those chamois will pull out whatever remaining moisture is in that Michael Jordan card, and it will dry nice and flat and smooth. And then I'll show you guys too, because there's no point of doing any of this if the texture comes back and it looks like shit. There's no point. It's like a big waste of time. So what I'm going to do is when I show you guys the reveal, we'll do that card next to, I'm sure I got, where'd I go? Yeah, I got a whole pile of them. I got a whole pile of 90s, 90 hoops. So we'll do a comparison. But just let me show you guys while we're here. And if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to curious, what temp do you keep the room that you're working on your cards? Great question. Let me show you guys something. Look what I got rolling in here today. Got the room humidifier going. Let me show you guys what we got here. So we got this set to right now to it's 73 degrees in the room, and I don't know why it's 33% humidity in here, which is lower than I like, because I got a lot of important things made out of wood over here. So right now, and then I also got temperature and humidity over here. So it's telling me I'm 72 here and 37% humidity here. And that was when I got to meet Van Halen when I worked in radio. That was a cool backstage pass, isn't it? But that's where we're at. So good question. All right, so back over here, you know. All right, so guys, if I missed a question, I'm going to come back to it. I just want to do a couple more card things, and then I'll sit and hang out, and I'll answer questions for you guys. Okay, so just for the sake of, like I said, the demo purpose, let me just show you guys kind of like what I'm talking about. So pretend it's the, fast forward to the morning. I would take these off. It probably actually will be fine. But like the thing is, you go like this. Ideal humidity that I like for my room here, mainly because of my instruments, is 40% relative humidity. That's what I aim for, 40 to 45%. And the reason, you guys, I'm saying that like I would like to hold it between the black pads first is because even though the chamois are very soft, they do have a little bit of more texture on them. See that? So if you put a wet card on these, you're going to get kind of a weird texture. You could. So that's why I'm saying we're going to do this step in the morning, okay? I just appreciate you guys being on the live, so it's like I don't want to be like, all right, wait till the morning for me to show you something, but that's how I'll do it. So since I want the texture on this one to come out so nice and we put this much effort into it so far, let's continue doing that, okay? So let me just get organized here for a second, guys, and I just need to grab a couple things. Okay, so same old standard, what I normally do here, guys, is just put the card mats on it, put the clips on it. And thanks, you guys, for everybody for being here tonight. We got one more, man. If you guys don't, if you got a few minutes, we're going to work on this one, and I'll tell you a little story about it, too. And I'm looking for one more clip. Where is it? Okay. That's what we're doing with the MJ for tonight. In the morning, we're going to add the chamois, and I think it will be dry tomorrow, you guys, so expect a follow-up tomorrow, okay? All right, last card of the night, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. And this one, you guys, I won't keep you long. But, let me tell you something. Here's what I want to tell you. A lot of us probably shop for cards the same way. Auctions and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And you look for, especially if you look for project cards, you will look for stuff that you kind of can say, all right, hopefully I can fix that or make an improvement. So when I bought this card with this visible thing right there, and I could only see it on the picture. And when I bought it, you guys, I thought it was some sort of dirt. Well, I got it, started taking a good look at it. It's not dirt. It's chipped off paint. So you guys, that's a loss. I can't really, there's nothing I can do to teach you guys to fix missing paint. It just sucks. But when I bought the card, it just looked like some sort of stain or something, so I took a shot. And I can't fix that. But what I can show you is this. Yeah, I actually had a question. Can we see where the Jordan started? Yes, hang tight. I'll show you guys again. But one thing that I did notice, this card was graded by PSA, but it was graded a long time ago. And I feel that if I sent this card in to get graded today, it would not get graded. If you guys didn't watch from the beginning of the show, here's the why. Can you see this nice 1985 texture? That's what all the cards look like. It has that nice kind of bubbly, or just kind of texture to it. Now watch this. Watch the penguin. And then we get towards the corner. This card is pinched down so hard in these corners. These corners are super shiny and super pinched. So if you've been a collector for a long time, you guys, and if you've ever taken a card out of a screw case or something like that, and you sent it in to get graded, and they tell you your card is altered, and you're like, what the hell? I've owned this card my whole life. What could be wrong with it? And you just don't understand it, because grading companies aren't usually very good at customer service or telling you what's going on. They'll just have some sort of code. And if you're a casual collector and you're just like, what does this mean? A lot of times these screw cases pinch these cards so bad that they just, based on the rules that they make up, they're like, hey, if we got one that's too pinched, we won't give it a number grade. It falls into a real tight pinch over there. So my point of this one was I didn't want it to be just a total wash. I noticed that this card just has if you guys have a card that's almost mint condition, but then you're going around it and you're like, oh man, I got a little out of place. I'm trying to get the light to focus on here. This little edge is a little bit out of place if you guys can see it in the light. Right above the penguin. So I brought this one out just because it's small. Not everything needs to be card soaked and clamped and all this stuff. I love doing that with you guys because I kind of geek out on these Wednesday nights because it's fun to do bigger projects. But I'm also very there we go. That's what I'm trying to show you. But I'm very also don't want it just to be watch what we can do. I want to be real practical because I know that a lot of you guys have cards like this in your collection that have been in a screw down too long, or just have a little edge bump, and or you're brand new and you're like, dude, I don't know how to spray the mats yet, or I'm too anxious to do that. Just start right here. Let's just keep it simple, okay? Let's just keep it simple. And by keeping it simple, you guys, we can use my card tool, okay? Because the thing is, here's what I want. I want you to love working on your cards. I don't want you to be afraid of it or anxious about it. Then you're not going to do it, So you ever get, hey, Danny, what's up, buddy? So if you ever open up your card care kit and you're like, what the hell's a straw for? Well, you can use it for whatever you want. But I'll use it to breathe a little bit of my breath on an open edge. You'd be surprised, you guys, how much your hot breath can do to a soft paper edge. And then go like that to it, all right? Do you know what the original grade on this card was? A PSA 7. Can you believe that? It was a PSA 7. But if I sent this card into PSA right now, it would never get a 7. In my opinion, it wouldn't. I got a bunch of cards back from PSA, you guys, and like normal. I'd say like 98% of the order was like, perfect. That's exactly what I guessed. And then there was a couple cards that I got like a 5 on. I'm like, a 5? What the hell? I got one of my cards got a 3. It's a vintage card, and it was a 3. It has no creases, no bends, no nothing. But I still like getting my cards graded, even though I like the cards more than the grades, and we complain about them a lot. But I like to get cards graded. So all right, so we're gonna breathe on this thing. All right. Yeah, it's like the thing that I like about the grading services is I like that they authenticate cards. The number part is like the hard part, just if they're just not consistent, and it's like and it gets more expensive. And a lot of people that are in this hobby also like buying and selling cards, and both are going to get, and that grade affects buyers and sellers, so I get it, but so here's what I'm going to do. I'm holding this with my hand like this because I don't think I want to get this card graded again. I just want to get this dent out of it, and I'm going to display it on my wall with my favorite hockey cards. That's what I want to do. But I might as well teach you guys something cool and just make it look a little bit better. So check this out. You guys can see the mist, right? Just a little bit of humidity like that usually works out great. Hey, good question. I got a question that said, hey, do you put sleeves on your cards right after cleaning them, or do you let it dry? If you're going to use card polish, you guys, on your cards, especially on a paper card, it might get a little bit of moisture in there. So just let them dry for 15, 20 minutes. If it's like a prism card or a chrome card, they don't soak in any moisture, so you're fine. But if we were going to polish the Mario Lemieux card here, then definitely it would probably get a little bit wet. And if you guys put it in a card sleeve, it might get a little like wrinkly, and you're like, oh man, what's going on? It's just the fumes, So the thing is, just let it totally evaporate, and then you can sleeve it up, and you'll be good. That's a great question, man. Thank you for asking that. All right, see, look at the magic we're working with. Just a little straw here, you guys. Not too tricky. One thing I want to do is I think that the back of this card right here is a little bit stubborn. So I'm just going to use a little bit of card spray on the back edge. I also got to remember where my problem is, right? It's right there. So I'm just using a little bit of card spray, guys, just to give us a little bit of soft, kind of like what I was doing with the straw. But being that it's the end of the show here and it's kind of getting to our bedtime here, I'll just show you this a little bit. You can use a little bit of card spray to speed up the process a little bit. And I'm not using any pressure here. I'm just kind of just riding back and forth, okay? And no, I got a question here that said, do you only use polish on paper cards? No, you can use card polish on a variety of cards. Anything with here's the thing. You wouldn't need to use card polish on the back of this because it's it's unfinished paper. But when it comes to, and you guys, I'm going to show you, I got it wet now. So you're going to see it's like a little bit puffy. I don't have to let it dry. But the way to get these, since these corners are so smashed down, the easiest way to get this card like if I'm going to send it back in to get graded and I'm afraid it's going to get tagged as altered because it's so pinched down on the corners, easiest way, you guys, is card sandwich. You know what I mean? Just spray the pads just like I did on the other ones, and it will bring it back to life. Think of like these cards that are smashed in a screw case, almost like just like a compressed spring. They're so pressed down, and they're cardboard and they're dry, and then you just go around the edges a little bit with a little bit of card spray, and they're like, back to normal shape. So it's almost like you're releasing that. Like this right here, I'll show you guys something. Like I think I explained that okay, right? So like watch this. So you see how I said I just this whole edge is pretty pinched down. Let me see if I can get you guys a good angle. It's so hard to show. Maybe on the next iPhone. I wish I could show you guys this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is a great angle, you guys. This is what I'm trying to show you. Do you see? Look above my knuckle. See how thick the card is above my knuckle? And see how thin that thing is right there? Finally, I got the shot. That's why PSA or grading companies will mark a card altered. Look how tight that is. You guys see that? Totally pinched. So, I don't want it to look like that anyway. So we're going to, so you know what, guys, let's treat that. We're going to go, that's how we'll wrap up the show. I'm not even going to bother doing that. Just one little edge. Now that I could finally focus in on that, you guys, that thing is smashed. So we'll do the same thing to this. And you won't, in this card, you guys, being a paper card and it's all the corners are smashed, I spray it, it's fine. I'm not going to hurt it. It's all good. That whole card needs to come unpacked because the corners are so, that's what I was trying to get. So it's like, I appreciate your patience when you guys are watching me do that when I'm like trying to like focus this damn thing. And I'm like, I can see it, but I need you guys to be able to see it. You know what I mean? So I thought that, sorry, just getting stuff. I have a couple videos on my YouTube playlist where it talks about, there's a key part. I'm not going to clip this, so hang tight, and then you're free to go, okay? So I have two videos on my YouTube playlist it's a Joe Montana rookie and a Michael Jordan rookie. Both were N5, considered altered by PSA. And just doing this process, what you guys just watched me do, spraying them both down. What did the Michelle's on here, and she's better memory than me. I think the Joe Montana rookie got a 9, so it went from altered to a 9, and then the Jordan went from altered to an 8. That's how particular those damn pinched cards can be. That pinched corner can rob you from a Joe Montana gem. Or a Jordan, I'll take a Jordan 8, Fleer 57 8 all day. Like, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? So, last thing. Since I want this card to come back to the right shape, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to clip it. I want this thing to grow tonight. That card is not strong enough to move this plate or move this pad. We're just going to put it right there. That's it for the Mario Lemieux. That's it, okay? You guys, I kept you so long, and you guys are so awesome. Thanks for everybody hanging out so freaking long tonight. I appreciate you guys. And I think I got most of the questions, did I? If I didn't, message me. You guys know I'll always write you back. Or, you know me, I don't really write, I voice back. So I'll call you, all right? And I'll tell you what's up. But you guys, thanks for your, unwavering, awesome commitment and interest and just being part of this club with me. And, I just truly appreciate you guys, and I'm just thankful for you, and I hope you enjoy watching this stuff, and I just totally enjoy doing this. I look forward to it every Wednesday night. And look I got more. I got more. So we'll do more. I think that 4 is kind of pushing it because I tried my best to talk and answer, but thank you guys. Truly appreciate your interest and your support and this friendship, and take care of yourself and somebody else. And remember, as always, man, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. We'll see you next week. Later.